There we go. Just got paired up here. 15-2 game. Alrighty. Let's see. I'm playing as black, which I like that, because the last few 15-minute games I was playing white. So let's start out pretty flexible here. Knight f6. I think I might have played this guy before on a different site. Let's see. Not sure if it's the same guy. This name seems familiar, though. Okay, well, I guess we're going to go into a Queen's Gambit, or my decision, really. e6. I could take it into a Nimzo Indian, Bogo Indian. Well, more Bogo Indian if e6 and c4. I'm going to go classical approach. Just Queen's Gambit. I'm expecting c4. I'm going to play e6. I don't like on c4, c6, the exchange variation. I know it's pretty dry, but I don't like playing the black side of that, even though it shouldn't really be much for white. So let's see. With already knight f3, one thing I could already say is that if it goes into the Queen's Gambit with c4 and e6, I don't have to worry about this central expansion with this knight already declaring himself on f3, but there's always that minority attack. So, c4 isn't played right away, so normally with the quick pressure on this point, you have to lend support to it. What I'm considering right now is maybe to try and get my bishop outside here and then get e6 in, but I don't know that that's going to work out so well. Another move I could be considering is knight e4 with tempo. Decisions. I mean, I could always just go right into e6 and then bishop e7. Go into a Lasker defense line with h6 and then knight e4. Let's see. Candidate moves, I'm really leaning towards e6. I'll probably end up doing that, but let me consider. Do I really have time for this? Bishop f5. I'd be fine with bishop takes knight. Bishop f5, c4. That's kind of a bug. Bishop f5, c4, and e6. Queen b3 is hard to meet. I want to be in a position to meet queen b3 with queen b6. Let's just go with something simple. It's worth considering, though. You know, whenever, this was most common on move 3 for white. So whenever there's some change, you try and find the differences and maybe take advantage of it in some way. But I'm not so sure. I'll have a look at it afterwards with the Stockfish. But, yeah. The idea here is bishop e7, castles h6, or I might even want to play h6 first. There might actually be a reason to do that. There's some tricky lines with, I've seen with h4 and g5, giving up the bishop and knight, or the bishop-knight exchange. Okay. That I'm not too, I haven't seen that too much. What's the great delay with c4? Okay. I guess white's going for something like e3, bishop d3, retaining some options with this pawn, looking for an eventual e4 break with preparation. Okay. I need to get some development in. I don't think there's really a better move than there. And now, I mean, if this c-pawn isn't going to strike at my d-pawn, I might want to have my c-pawn play a more aggressive role with c5. I wonder if there's some situations where after bishop... Wow! I was going to say after c5, bishop takes, knight, bishop takes, bishop, pawn takes, but I would be on b2. Now this is surprising. So this is the approach, giving up the bishop pair, huh? I guess e4 is the idea. Giving up the bishop pair, and as compensation, Trying to get a little bit of a lead in development or striking quick in the center. Okay, so this is the main battle that's going on right now. Bishop pair versus white having a slight space advantage. And I don't know how great a lead in development. This guy, how do I get him working? That's my big question here. And actually at this moment here, what should I do? Do I hold my point on d5? I'd like to see this and then bishop back, then I could get in c5. Pretty easy. Is there a reason not to castle? Would I be coming under fire with bishop d3? Captures here and h4 stuff, fishing pole stuff. Maybe. Not sure what to do. Could always just take, but I don't like helping improve the knight position. I'm not sure what candidate moves I should be going for here. b6 bishop b7? Also, an idea might be b6 bishop to a6 only after this guy has moved. I don't know that I want to castle so quick. I'm going to go with this. It is very weakening. And my king may be a bit exposed on this diagonal, but let's see. Let's see what white's going to do. Are they going to play this pretty automatic move, bishop d3? I'd be fine to see this. Calmly come back. Even though I have the bishop pair, I still might be the one who seeks a light square bishop exchange. I could still play a position where I have this dark square bishop. If these guys, if he pushes forward here, these pawns are fixed on dark squares. And could be a later target by this guy. So I really am not going to be so quick to exchange him off. That's what I'm getting at. I want to play this position with him always on board against one of these knights. We could call him my bad bishop currently. So, be fine with exchanging him off. And I was pointing out that I would only want to play, let's say, bishop a6 after this bishop has moved. Those are just for tempo reasons, timing reasons. After the bishop moves, then I play here, and that way the bishop has to move again before he captures. Make this guy move twice, in other words, before my light square bishop is exchanged. I do have to watch out for these sneaky tricks for as long as my king is on e8. Well, white is basically saying, let's play an ending. I could force that if I wanted to. If I'm not careful, bishop here could be a big pain. Tempted to castle. My first thought, though, was to take the knight. Takes, pawn takes, knight takes. I'm not sure how to assess this ending. I want to go for it. I'm not sure how well the knight will stand on e4, and I think my king will have a cozy home on e7. Interesting. Another thought is, does white even need to, like after bishop takes, knight, pawn takes, does white have to even recapture? Queen g4 might be a move, just to keep queens on the board and try and still play with this pawn on e5, cramping my position a little bit. I'm not sure. I might just castle. Keep this option open for a little later. Yeah, maybe I'm not going to be so quick to give up this guy. Maybe only after bishop here will I do that. I think I want a castle. Yeah, let's do that. I've played enough positions with the early queen exchange, so let's keep the ladies on board for a little bit. And now I don't have to worry about this pawn push, at least. This can't be a bad position for my dark square bishop. How are we doing on the clock? Not too bad. It's been worse. c5 is coming into consideration. White has moved this piece twice now. Am I coming under any serious attack? I don't think so. Now, I might have to watch out for this idea I was mentioning earlier. I might run into some trouble with that now. With this knight jumping into c6, or some combination of taking on a6 and then knight c6 after I recapture. These guys I currently view as offsetting one another. Same diagonal, two squares separating them. They're fighting for these same squares. d7, c6. It's just a way I try to visualize the position, certain the relationship between certain pieces in the game. Candidate moves, I'm anticipating bishop here. I don't think that this would be a good choice to take here. Who knows, though? I haven't done so well with predicting white's moves up to this point, so who's to say that that's going to change? I don't think I've predicted any move here. From move 3 on, I thought c4, and it was bishop g5. And then one move later, I thought c4, and it was knight here. And then knight here. Okay, and then even the capture on f6, so let's prepare for anything, really. Be prepared for anything. Alrighty. Bishop there. Sneaky-ness. Well, what's wrong with just bishop here? I want to go here anyway. And I conveniently defend this point. Let's develop. I got to get some moves in. I think that bishop's a bit awkwardly placed. You know, c5 might be... I might be able to play c5 now with a very serious threat. With this bishop sticking around on this square. After c5, I might be threatening c4 and then a6 b5. Let's go with it. It's right for many reasons. I'm going to do it right away. I didn't share all the reasons, but... this one, typically you would want to strike at the dark squares. If you have this X-factor bishop, this unopposed dark square bishop in this case, striking at the opponent's pawns who have dark square control that occupy the dark squares, eliminating them is going to increase this bishop's mobility. Queen c7 is a new move. New square available for the queenie. I could have considered taking this pawn. Why didn't I do that? This doesn't seem right. What am I missing? Queen takes pawn is threatening mate. That's pretty serious. It also threatens this knight. It also threatens this pawn. And then she's indirectly hitting this bishop. She's hitting everything. Wow. Queen takes pawn. What would white have to do? This position's opening up, by the way, so this is good news for team dark square bishop. Wow. Queen takes pawn. Huh. I don't understand. Queen takes pawn. Is this some opening trap? I don't see it. Queen takes pawn. Let's just double check. Queen takes pawn is pretty serious. How do you defend mate on g2? Queen here? Knight here? Wow. Don't see it. Let's develop a new piece and threaten mate. What am I missing? Okay, this is one of those show me what the big plan is here. Knight here, could take this pawn. Hitting the bishop, bishop c4. That might be the line. But still, I'm opening up this position. Pretty much even time-wise, not the clocks that are running here, but from a development standpoint. Pretty even. If a knight here, pawn takes pawn, bishop c4, I could drop back just a single square to d6 and keep pressure on this knight, who's now going to need some serious support. Okay, this has to be good. I think Stockfish would be lighting up pretty good here for Team Black. Huh. Watch out for any trickiness here. I could even meet bishop c4 with queen c5. These guys are still offsetting one another. Not sure. Seems all pretty good. Let's take this guy. What am I missing? I don't think anything. So this will be an eventual tempo gaining move. Rook a to c8. There's a convenient way to defend though. c6, well, c3. We'll blunt this diagonal, but first and foremost, how does black regain this pawn? Can't do it right away because of the pressure here. I'm thinking knight g4. That would be a way to kick my bishop off of the defense of this pawn. But even so, queen trade, I have the bishop pair, the position's open, it should be good. Try and stay on top clockwise, because I believe the position's pretty good. Huh. Queen here, I feel like I'm close to winning material. Like very, very close. Queen here, keeping pressure on both minor pieces. And staying in a position to defend my pawn. Okay, here, knight takes pawn, here tricks. I don't see that happening. Let's go right here. I have this square covered. These guys, same story. They're still offsetting one another. Oh, actually, something I just missed there. I was thinking I could take here, and after the queen recapture... Well, I was thinking the knight would have to recapture, but my rook would be loose here, so now it's a little bit tricky for me to develop. Yeah, I missed that. Wait a second, though. Bishop takes knight. Bishop takes knight. Queen takes... I could take bishop takes knight here, queen takes rook, and then queen takes bishop. I get the two minor pieces. So on bishop takes, the knight has to recapture. And then I just develop, and I'm still up this pawn. Giving up the bishop pair, but this is transitioning to, well, I'll just play the position up a pawn still. Just double check here. Bishop takes knight, queen takes. If queen takes, bishop takes knight, queen takes my rook. Queen takes my bishop. And I have pretty good coordination. In fact, I'd be on c2 at that point. Okay, let's go for it. So knight here, knight c6, and things are looking pretty smooth. Any action on this diagonal here, any pressure here is a convenient reply, g6, to blunt the light squares, to keep control over the light squares, have my pawns here. They'd be in good harmony with my dark square bishop. Okay. Something went wrong for white here, but let's see if I could convert this well. I want to try and be very accurate from a technical standpoint here. Okay, and this was my idea. Let's get some moves in here. I gotta go faster. I should have been considering bishop takes pawn, but no, that's not working. I have everything defended here. If we have the knights being exchanged, I wouldn't mind playing that endgame, even though it's opposite color bishops. This guy is still something. What's that move? I don't understand what that move is. Not sure where to go with my bishop here. Let's stay behind this pawn. Stay off of light square. Initially I was thinking here, but I'm not so sure about that. Bishop here might be annoying at some stage. I don't know. Just trying to stay nice and tucked in here, staying coordinated. Oh, I could have considered bishop here, getting the knights exchanged. I should have done that. I would have forced a knight exchange, because I'd be on this. Unless knight here, but that seems awkward. Rook here, I'm anticipating... No, I'm not anticipating anything, really. Uh-huh. Sneaky. What about a queen trade? I'm not sure here. Got crazy dogs out now. Oh, man. Okay, let's shoot for this. Queen trade? Queen trade or not. My knight is a loose piece. On knight here, I'm going to go bishop here. On queen here, what do I do? Queen here, I could drop my queen back, then I have knight here. Maybe that's fine. Queen here is a nice spot, I think. I wonder if knight e4, bishop back, f4. That's really weakening the light squares, or the dark squares. Whoa. Okay, so they're okay with the queen exchange. And I am too. I gotta play faster here, so let's get right here. Changing my mind. I want to get my rook here. Still up a pawn. I have a 2-0 majority in the center. Let's back up. That's my knee-jerk reaction right there, but I think it's good. Bishop here, bishop a6, rook here. Rook d8, slowly improve my king position. I'm not going to be so quick to play this move, I don't think. Let's get here. Less than 4, they have 5. 2-second increment though. Knight here to here might be an idea. Timely kick of this knight. Not so fast. I'm not going to commit my pawns just yet. Let's inch my king over just a hair. Knight here to here. Still tough to convert this for sure. Whoa. Well, I don't have to worry about this pawn anymore. Huh. Now that's interesting. What about this move first right now? Yeah. Because then the knight can't recapture after pawn takes. I think now's the time to do this. Yeah, let's give this guy a kick. So I'm going to have not only a pawn up, but maybe a second one and a structural defect. This guy could fall. I think this is a losing move. Yeah, I'm going to win another pawn here. I think, and I will take him. Yeah, and my bishop will have a good post on c5. Where's this knight go? He only has 2 options. Here, he's kind of biting on a rock. Here, he's getting in the way of this. He might need to do this just to maybe force me on the retreat here. Pawn takes, rook takes, bishop takes. Yeah, and this is how I would want to recapture. I don't want to recapture with my knight. I'm really displacing him, whereas the bishop, not so much. He's easily repositioned to a good square, so I guess they maybe miscalculated something there, or didn't expect the f5 move. I could get back on this diagonal as well. The only reason I retreated was because the knight played here. My rook is unprotected on c7. I might have to be a little bit cautious of some pin here and then piling up on it. If the knight never goes here, is that a problem? No. My first thought is to take. I should probably do it. Stay ahead on the clock here. No, there is a reason to take with the knight. I want to keep pressure here. My mistake. Let's do this. Yeah, this is much more clear. So now I'm going to win that a3 pawn. Or should I take this one? I think I want to do this. I'm going to take with the bishop because this is helping improve my king position. You got to take this pawn too. He's passed. If you don't, push him. Rook here isn't working. I could take. Doesn't matter that he's unprotected in that case. He'd be pushing through. So on pawn takes. Bishop takes pawn. That's my idea. And just to improve my king position, or is rook takes better? I think I'm going to go with the rook, actually. Rook takes because then I'm on this. Bishop takes pawn, pawn here. I don't want to allow that. I'm going to take with the rook. Yeah, let's take with the rook. How do you defend a3? I'm up 2 pawns now. Even if it's a opposite color bishop ending, this is it'd be difficult for white to hold an opposite color bishop ending. So this is my thought. Bishop right here. Post up on a nice strong square here. King e7. Yeah, let's stay aggressive. Keep pressure here. Knight here, get on the second rank. Keep pressure on f2. Improve my king position. This is no issue here. Oh, actually it might be. Second rank. Yeah, I should get there. Keep pressure on the knight. The knight's pinned down. Rook here, king e2, bishop here. Knight f7, rook check, king f6. Rook takes there. This is probably what's going to happen. I probably shouldn't allow this counterplay. I should maybe just move my knight. Knight here. Yeah. This is the plan. Get my knight out right away. Knight here to here. I shouldn't have allowed this much counterplay. I was missing bishop here and the rook getting to my second rank. They gotta watch out for their back rank though. Knight here to here is serious. Bishop here. Knight here. Okay, let's go right here. I keep thinking I'm missing something. I may be missing something, but I don't know about that. Rook check, king here. There's a rook check here. King f6. Okay, now I could do this. Not so sure about that. Let me maybe play here or here, actually. This will secure my knight position. Maybe I should consider that. Tricky. Pawn push. Rook here. King here. f4. I could play knight here to here, though. Let's get my king up. If f4, I'm going to play knight here. And then this... Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Actually quite happy to see that. I will take that and then come back and defend my second rank. Gotta play some fast moves here. Actually, I don't need to defend my second rank. Let's secure my knight position. No. I gotta play a bit more practical. Let me just cover all my base points. Get my knight on d6. Knight here to here. Here, the bishop's going to box me out. Okay. Improve my rook position a little bit. Might want to have inserted some checks here just to bank some time. Oh, rook trade? This should be winning. Okay. Let's do this. And get my knight right here. Gotta move faster. 12 seconds. Okay, how to win this? Pressure on that pawn. This bishop's always a bit tricky. I don't know if this is the correct direction to go in, but I'm going to try it. Create a pass pawn. Let's see how that bishop's going to stop my pawn, in fact. It's not so easy. Okay, now I know how to win this one. Definitely know how to win this one from here. I'm going to hunt down that pawn. Okay. Sorry about the dogs in the background. Nothing much I could do about that. Alright, I'm hitting the bishop and I'm pushing through now. And this knight is boxing out the bishop. Alright, they're just going to play this one to the end. Got another pawn here to run with. King here and then push through. My knight controls this square. No stalemates. I'm just going to play it out to the end here. Yeah, we're going to see what the computer had to say with this one. Watch out for stalemate. It's not close though. Okay, keep going. Almost there. Home stretch. And there we go. All right. Let me give me a second here and bring up Stockfish and see what he has to say. Okay, let's see what Stockfish has to say with this one. So I'll let you guys know where it changed up. Evaluation-wise, computer's pretty much never going to like bishop takes knight there, but it's going to be playable. But I don't know if white treated it the correct way with playing against the bishop pair, because I was able to open the position up. Doesn't have any issue with b6. Typical computer move is just a castle right away. Zero fear of any attacks. This is something I was had some concern by me. Ideas like this where there's a push and then pawn push and then bishop sacrifices and then knight jumping in here stuff. But computer just plays queen b6 and goes pawn hunting. But I'm not so sure about that. I definitely didn't want to. I wanted to at least be mindful of this idea. And my playing b6 here was to, well, I played b6 instead of castling because I didn't want to contend with these possibilities of sacrifices on h7, h4, knight g5 stuff. So I went with this, getting my queen bishop out. It doesn't like that knight move. It prefers bishop to d3. It says it's even. After knight here, it's slight advantage for white, and by slight I mean negative 0.35-ish, something around there. Castles, bishop there. Okay, yeah, didn't like this move. It struck me as a bit awkward. Bishop d3. Once again, just a bearing down on this diagonal. You know, I was pointing out that this is the bishop that I really need to get working. And white has a slight space advantage. That's a little bit of the battle that's going on in it, or that was going on in this game, or maybe should have gone on in this game. Another way to look at it is that if he isn't, well, he's a queenside specific piece. This is the queen bishop, but he's not like outside here. He's not contributing on the king side of the board. And so another approach for white is to post up like this and try and make something happen on this diagonal, because he's maybe not so quick to exchange himself off for this guy. One of the ideas I had was this. I guess there aren't any tricks. I was wondering if there was like knight here, or some combination of a capture here and then here, but it's never really amounting to much. This is just a one-move threat. Queen d7 is apparently fine. But, yeah, bishop to b5 was a bit awkward. This is now, it's reading as about a pawn advantage for black, so I think this was a step in the wrong direction. This isn't, no, this really isn't inconveniencing me. It's ready to throw a knight here, but bishop b7 is a convenient way. I was going to go here anyhow. And he just watches over c6. So castles, and the advantage is climbing. Yeah, it likes d takes e4. I didn't even consider that. I'm not sure why. D takes e4 right there. It's okay with c5. Still about a pawn advantage. Yeah, I think this is really the step in the wrong direction. I imagine that the evaluation isn't going to shift too much unless there was some tactics missed. But I think the main point was the bishop's decision to play here. Maybe the knight jumping into e5 was not so accurate. Instead, going for more development would have been better. Computer likes a6 here. That did not even come to mind. What's the trick with that? Knight b4, bishop c4, knight takes a2. Yeah, don't know that I really want to go for that. And he just going for blunder checks here. I should have done this just to make it a bit easier to play, at least. Opposite color bishops would be tough to break down, though. With this bishop having a fantastic home on d3, I'd need to get these guys working, and I'd have to be very careful about how exactly I move them forward. I don't want to create any serious light square weaknesses as I do that. That's maybe asking a bit much. I imagine it's fine, the approach I took here. It likes knight e4 here. Knight e4 in the game, what was played there, a3. Knight a4, I was going to do this. On this move, is there anything crazy? Okay, it does suggest this queen c7 move. That might be a little bit scary. Computer has no problem reading +2 now. I guess that's not really working out. d3. Oh, with knight here. Sneaky. Okay, these are the only things I was concerned about, because I'm still up this pawn here. So I'm looking for like these concrete strikes, or this very direct play, but it never really came. Queens are off. I'm still up this pawn, and does it ever slip? Any tactics missed? It's about a pawn and a half advantage. Climbing now. It's +2 and beyond. I guess we could expect that at this point. Did it ever slip? Right around here. This is where I thought f4 should be played. In fact, instead of king to e7, it does like this g5 move, something I was going to do. But on rook check, king here is what I planned, and this should still be alright. But it's allowing a bit more activity than I would have liked. In the end, I decided on king here, because on f4, this is what I was going to play, knight here, and that is the move the computer likes. And on rook check, king f6 is what I had planned, and this should be really devastating. A knight jumping in here. Best line is apparently to take, and then not give this check, although it's still about a pawn and a half advantage. It likes knight here. Ooh, I probably wouldn't have played that. I guess one of the ideas is to maybe jump in here. In any event, I was happy to see this move, knight here, because it simplified the position and made it a lot easier for me to consolidate. Getting my knight on d6 is a good way to deal with the coordination of rook and bishop getting to d6 7, and then it frees up my rook to do other things. They were exchanged, and this is really the last key point. I don't want to allow the king to try and enter in any way. I want to get my king here and my knight here, and once that's on board, then it's not really much you could do. And I wasn't able to say it at this point either during the game, but I didn't want to do something like this to support, because these pawns are now being fixed on light squares, so I wasn't able to share it at the time, but I was thinking of just taking, and that's what I did in the game, and then playing here. Now I only have one pawn on a light square, but he's easily defended and conveniently defended because my king wants to be in the center anyway, and he's right there to defend him, so this is just turning out to be a one king and, well, it's just a one ending here. I don't think it ever slipped. This bishop takes a long while to get back on this diagonal here, since I have that control over d4, +5 and beyond, and yeah, this is of course going to be winning. Alright, interesting game. This was a pretty long video. But anyway, feel free to share what any comments you have in the comment section below, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care. Bye.